none. Then we might break Larson's record of 20. Mm-hmm. And the pledge.
Happy New Year, everyone. And I hope everyone had a great holiday season. It is Monday, January 13, and by my watch, it is 7:01 p.m. I'm reconvening this meeting, and I'm calling it to order. Please let the record reflect that all council members are present. And next item up is item number 6, public comments. Mr. Stewart.
This is the time set aside for the council to address for the public to address the city council on matters not listed on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the city council should come to the podium, be recognized by the mayor, and state your name for the record. If you wish to address the city council on an agenda item, you may do so by approaching the podium as we review that particular item. You will be given a reasonable amount of time to address the city council.
Is there anybody in the public that wishes to make any comments this evening?
Is the mic on? Fred can't hear.
Is that better?
There you go.
Oh,
great.
yeah, no, sorry, it was
Thank you.
off. I'd like to let you know about our upcoming personal safety and bullying prevention for youth and caregivers workshop on Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, from 6 to 7 p.m. In these interactive programs led by Get Safe USA, you will learn how to recognize bullying behavior, learn what to do when they are in trouble, and practice self-defense techniques. Caregivers will also learn how to talk, listen, and advocate for their child's safety and well-being. I think this is a very valuable workshop that we will be hosting on February 5th for all community members between the ages of 7 and 14 and their caregivers. I'll leave some of these flyers with City Hall. Thank you
so much for that. I appreciate that invite. Were you able to sign in, sir? Thank you so much. Thank you again. Anybody from the public that wishes to make any comments at this point in time? All right, see none. Item number 7, public hearings, we have none. Item number 8, ordinances and resolutions for consideration, we have none. Item number 9, consideration items, we have none. And so we'll move on to item number 10, the consent calendar. Mrs. Stewart?
If the council, they take this item in one unanimous action. If the council wishes to pull, defer, or discuss an item, it's up to their discretion to pull one.
Great. Thank you, Mrs. Stewart. Do we have any conflicts, recusals, abstentions?
Yeah, I think there's a question on item D.
Thank you. Item 14D, 10D, I'm sorry, 10D tonight, does have a quick correction to Southern California Association of Governments regarding the meeting details for this year.
Oh, yeah,
That's what,
I was referring, the League of California Cities, is that correct, Mr. Garza?
Officially, yes, he's our actual delegate.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're just the president, so,
And I'm the alternate.
okay,
So
as long
like
as
for,
it doesn't affect your presidency.
it does not.
okay,
No.
got it, okay, that's what.
No, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, we never had
We never had a
league,
president
never had a
before,
president of the league
Yeah.
before, I don't think, okay.
And
Okay,
I
that
think
is correct then, okay.
Yeah, and last year when the appointments process was going on, I remember that was, and I had a
Yeah.
chat with you regarding
No,
if
and
you're
that's cool.
okay.
I
And
just
so,
want to make sure that it's
Okay.
still in effect.
absolutely, no,
Okay.
you
All right.
officially you
All right.
you're a guy
All
on
right.
that
Okay.
one. So, any other items? All right. So,
Move the consent calendar.
Great.
Second.
all right. I have motion and second. Any opposed? We're good. All right.
We're good.
So without objection, that'll be the order. All right, item number 11, council reports. Let's go with Councilmember Hamada.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few things since our last meeting. It's been a while. It kind of feels like a year.
It is a year.
But again, I think as mentioned for the immediate past mayor, the volunteer center again held that food and toy distribution, and I was honored to again participate and actually drive around to take some of the food and toys around. Did go to the funeral for Mike Broussard. Again, Mike was a really good man, and definitely he you know, again blessed his city with again his leadership, and again condolences to his family. Last week I did have a chance to go to the Albert Baxter School Site Council. I was invited to chat with them about their safety plan going beyond the boundaries of the school. So just, you know, again, they had some chit chat about, again, some of the, you know, possible ideas that the residents have raised concern about traffic and other safety matters in that area. So down the road, I'll be conferring with, again, public safety and also public works. And I also was blessed to enjoy the Bosco event last Friday. So again, the mayor and the immediate past mayor, it was just an awesome event for the boys, and just want to shout out to the nation and you know high school football that St. John Bosco is back. So. It's something that they've had history with, and again, it looks like something about when I kept hearing dynasty. So, and hopefully that's the case. So, again, Happy New Year to Bellflower, and again, we're looking forward to a lot of great things. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Santa Ynez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to request that tonight's meeting be adjourned in memory of Maurice George Mike Broussard. Mike Broussard was born on February 13, 1937 in Berlin, New Hampshire, and passed away peacefully on December 1st, 2019 at age 82. He was the eldest of 5 siblings. He joined the United States Marine Corps in 1956, serving as an aircraft electrical technician stationed in South Carolina in Okinawa, Japan, and then he was transferred to El Toro, California due to the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then he decided to stay here after honorable discharge in 1962. Met Mike William A. Talley while working at Sears. They were married from 1969 to 1979 and had 3 children. Though Mike and Willa were divorced, they remained good friends until Willa's passing last year. In 1968, Mike started MGB Services, Inc., a janitorial service business that later changed focus to real estate investment. He and Willa bought their first investment property in Bellflower, and they remained investment partners their whole lives, buying and managing properties for over 30 years. At some point in time, Willa kind of quipped that they made bad couples, but they made great business partners. Mike was also valued a life community service and was active member of the Bellflower community. He was elected to the Bellflower City Council, serving one term from 1984 to 1988 and as mayor from 1987 to 1988. He was also a member of the Bellflower Noon Lions Club for 37 years and president of the Bellflower Chamber of Commerce in past years. His hobbies included singing with the Bellflower Civic Chorus, gardening, golfing, caring for his many cats, bunnies, and birds. He's preceded in death by his parents, Germaine and Philip Broussard, his brothers, Armand and Reverend Leo Broussard, and his ex-wife, William A. Broussard. He is survived by his sisters, Emily and Annette, his children, Delina, who is married to Paul, Michelle, married to Angel, Philip, married to Esmeralda, his grandson, Logan, and longtime companion, B. Pro. The funeral service for Mike was and celebration of life was held on December 28, 2019 at the St. Bernard's Church. Our sympathies and heartfelt condolences go out to B. Pro and the entire Broussard family. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Santa Ynez. Mayor Pro Tem Coops.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had this evening the outgoing ceremony for immediate past Mayor Sonny Sanyanez, where we had lots of presentations made on his behalf, indicating the good work that he did throughout the year, and we had presentations given by many of the organizations that have never been here before. So indicates to me that your influence is beyond the boundaries of Bellflower, that you have influence far beyond what we ordinarily have. And I just want to go on record as saying what a pleasure it is to work with you on this council and to be so appreciative of your leadership and the things that you put in motion as we continue forward with our new mayor, Juan Garza. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Coops. Councilmember Dutton.
And I will also piggyback on that. Past Mayor Sonny Santa Ynez did an excellent job as his year. He has left his footprint all over Bellflower. His accomplishments were noted tonight and rewarded. Everybody that came out tonight to a celebration actually congratulated him in a way of all the accomplishments that he has done in his year. The city of Bellflower, from Artesia and Bellflower Boulevard all the way to Alondra and Bellflower Boulevard. Many things in between that he had started and he saw through on his watch. And with that all being done, his family was behind him 100%, and letting him do what he needed to do to get the things done that he had. He did an excellent job in his year, and I personally want to congratulate Sonny and his family.
Thank you, Mr. Dutton. Okay, great. And for myself, I want to echo that as well. I have some really good mentors in my life, and I can honestly say that the steps that you've shown me to not only prepare me, but also make me a better person, and somebody that to work with collaboration and communication has been something that I will cherish forever. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your sacrifice for our community. You represent the city of Bellflower impeccably, and I think you're a model to all of us, and I just can't thank you enough for all you do for our city. Thank you so much, Sonny. Let me see, things that I have to report on let me start off with the Bravo Awards. So I know we typically don't have announcements during this meeting, but I wanted to share just something right quick that is a little time sensitive. The city of Bellflower is pleased to share that Denny Trejo will serve as keynote speaker at the 26th Annual Bravo Awards on Thursday, February 6th at 11 a.m. here at the Briscoe Civic Auditorium. The Bravo Awards ceremony is funded through sponsorships from area businesses and individuals and represents one of the city's most prestigious honors. Sponsorship opportunities are listed on our website, and the deadline is this coming Thursday, January 16. So if you would like to sponsor the Bravo Awards, the deadline is this Thursday. For information, please call 562-804-1424, extension 2267. Additionally, I want to announce that I think it's really important that it's been a while since we've had a council meeting, but on December 12, the city council and our leadership and our staff recognize our employees. And I think it's really important to remind all of us that the city hums because of our employees. And so I just wanted to mention that the city cares about our employees and we recognize them. That was a really great event. So good job, Jeff, on putting that together. Also, on the 21st of December, I, along with some fellow council members, attended a couple of Christmas events that Saturday. We had well over 3,000 children that were provided Christmas gifts and food at Hollywood Sports Park. And so I want to commend Hollywood Sports Park for that effort. And also Niños Latinos Unidos, who did that for foster children that get service out of Bellflower. So I want to commend both of those organizations. From January 5th to January 8th, the city manager and I went up to Sacramento, and we represented the city at Contract Cities Association's annual Sacramento Legislative Outreach Tour. And so we were both part of groups that went up to Sacramento and essentially were advocating for our city and other cities like ours as the legislative session starts up there. This year is going to be especially interesting, and so it was important that we were there during the first days of session to be able to stand up for Bellflower. So I want to thank the city manager for joining me up there for that. Of interest to our city, we have 2 bills that the city officially right now is opposed to. One of them is SB 732 from Senator Ben Allen, which would essentially allow for AQMD to become a taxing authority. And if it does, it would impose some pretty drastic additional taxes on our community. And I think with the affordability challenges that our communities are having, that's probably the last thing that we need at this point. And so we are officially opposed to that legislation. If it's going to actually continue, it has to get out of the Senate by the end of this month. So I highly recommend everybody that that thinks that would be a bad idea to contact Senator Ben Allen and our senator here, Bob Archuleta, let them know that SB 732 would not be good for Bellflower. And the other bill, the second bill, is SB 50. SB 50, if you're not aware, it's been in the news a lot lately. It was in the newspaper yesterday. It's been in the newspaper just about every single day this past week. So the city manager and I were up in Sacramento when this bill was reintroduced. This bill would be, it would completely change the way we live in terms of our residences in our communities. And so I highly recommend that you look at this bill, and if you concur, to please let your senators know and the state Senate know that this bill is not good for our communities. It's essentially Sacramento dictating to cities how we should build our homes. And so we think it's an overreach. The other thing is, on the 23rd of December, I conducted an interview regarding our homelessness. The interview was with National Public Radio. There was an article that came out on it. There's more information that's going to come out on it. But Bellflower is absolutely being looked at in terms of a model as to how to potentially address the homelessness crisis that we're all living through right now. I was also interviewed by the LA Times last week regarding this, and I know they'll be coming to our city to look at more things as our shelter gets closer to coming online next month. And in fact, today, I was in the city of Riverside with their mayor and the city council. They were asking me about the approach that we're taking. So I know, again, that we're being looked at. And lastly, today, the governor's homelessness task force, again, statewide task force, recommended that regarding homelessness, that cities that are not attempting to mitigate and address the homelessness crisis, that they should be sued. So again, that just came out today. The reason I mention that is because your city council is ahead of the game on that, right? The settlement agreement that our city signed under former Mayor Sonny Santainez is a big step towards protecting our city from any legal repercussions if we follow the rules, which we fully will. So I think what's happening is a lot of cities and the state government itself is now seeing that the model that we are adopting is the way forward in terms of addressing homelessness. So I say that with an immense amount of pride, the fact that Bellflower is stepping up and tackling this crisis the right way. So again, kudos to everyone that's up here with me. And then, let's see, I was also at the Bosco parade that happened this past Friday. I want to commend the city for supporting the program at Bosco. It's a national model. It's a powerhouse, and it's always great to be able to be supportive of programs like that serve as an inspiration not only to our community but our youth. And so Councilmember Santainez and Councilmember Hamada were there with me, and I know the Councilmember Dutton and Coops were there in spirit as well. They weren't able to join us, but it was a fantastic event. And I know there's videos online regarding the event, so if you haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend that you see it. It's a great day for Bellflower. It's a great day for Bosco. I want to thank former Mayor Scott Larson for heading up that effort regarding the parade, and as well I want to also congratulate Giovanni Diagidio and Dennis Bukowski from Hollywood Sports Park, who also played a big role in having that parade come to our city. And last but not least, I wanted to ask my colleagues just for some quick thoughts. I know that historically during our public comment period, we for things that predate me, we typically allow for comments to go unabated for a while. And in consideration of the fact that I think this coming year we're going to be having some pretty heavy items, I wanted to get your thoughts on still allowing for public comment. That's a public right, but just limiting the amount of time from being open-ended to being 3 minutes. I know that in other councils, city councils, other cities, it's pretty standard to have 3 minutes. Some city councils have 5 minutes, the limit. Some have one only. I think by being in the middle of the road of 3 minutes, personally, I think it's a good middle of the road. But I wanted to hear thoughts on that before moving forward with that. So.
Mayor, I think it's a good idea. Being up here for a decade or so, I can see when that'd be a good tool to be used at certain times, and if that's what we have to do to limit time and limit the substance of the meeting, 3 minutes should be enough to say what you want, and not say that you go on 20 minutes, you end up saying stuff you don't need, and then the hard bleeding kind of stuff, but I think 3 minutes would be fine. If you wanted to proceed with that, I would support that.
Okay. Thank you, council members. And any thoughts on that?
I concur. Again, I've worked for cities, and every city that I worked for was a 3-minute limit.
That's what I've seen as the standard.
Yeah.
Council member Santinas?
3 minutes is very common among different cities, and I think we can try it.
I think that's worth a shot. We could try it and
Yeah.
see where it goes.
Mr. Mayor, we'll change it for the next agenda then.
Okay. Any concerns, Mr. Stewart?
No.
Okay. Any concerns, Mr. Berger? Okay, great.
Mr. Mayor, let me just say that I think for
Please.
the most part, I think most of the speakers kind of are very short in terms of what they talk about. And there's only very few, the exception. So I think that's basically addressed to those few, and I think that's a good idea.
I agree. Okay, great. Well, thank you. Then I think we'll, for now going forward, and we'll try it out. And if it works
Mhm.
out great, we'll try the 3-minute limit. And again, that still allows for public comment. 3 minutes, I think, is a good amount of time to be able to get a point across. So, I'm sorry? Per speaker, correct. Sorry. Yes, thank you for clarifying that, per speaker. And we'll find a way to be able to monitor that, I think, going forward. So, okay. So, any other council reports? I know we all went through just any last minute things. All right.
That was it.
All right, so seeing none, so item number 12 is a closed session. We have none, and 13 adjournment. So per Councilmember Santa Ynez's request, and I think the whole council's concurrence, I'd like to adjourn this meeting in memory of Mr. Maurice George Mike Broussard to the next regular meeting of the Bellflower City Council at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, January 27, 2019. It is 7:22, and we are adjourned. 2020.